Hello students, myself Dr. N. Ragini, Associate Professor of Physics, GFGC Kuvempu Nagar, Mysore. Now I will be presenting X-ray diffraction by Debye-Scherrer method. Introduction, we will learn the discovery of X-rays by Wilhelm Conrad Roentgen in 1895. The electromagnetic radiation of wavelength 1 angstrom units is about as the same size of the atom. Definition: X-ray diffraction is a scattering of X-rays by atoms produces an interference effect so that the diffraction pattern gives information on structure of the crystal. Example, KCl crystal we are taking. Applications: the characterization of materials in solid state chemistry and to determine the structure of materials in material science and to find the size and shape of the unit cell for any compound. This is a picture of Bruker's X-ray XRD instrument. Here we have the X-ray tube, the X-rays which are incident on the sample. This is a sample, and here we have the detector. So from this picture we will come to know that the X-rays are generated from CRT tube here, CRT tube, by heating the filament to a high voltage, and the X-rays of wavelength 1.5418 angstrom units are collimated and directed into the sample here. Then from the samples the intensity of reflected X-rays are produced here and they are recorded, which satisfy Bragg's law. The constructive interference occurs and the peak in intensity occurs. The detector records and processes the X-ray signals and converts the signals to count rate, which is the output to a device such as a printer or computer monitor. Now the instrument here, this is a goniometer, so it can be rotated, the sample can be rotated, and also we have a Debye-Scherrer camera here which detects or which records the intensity of or the count rate. So the sample will be it is a KCl crystalline powder. It is crushed and placed, smeared on a glass plate and placed at this position. This is an instrument, say Bruker's XRD instrument. Here is a diagram to demonstrate the X-ray diffraction by Debye-Scherrer powder method. Here we can observe the X-ray tube of high voltage, say 10,000 to 40,000 volts. They are produced from, this is a CRT tube. Then we have a LED screen here, and which from that there is a monochromatic X-ray beam falls on the crystal here, which is crushed crystalline solid, and here we have a KCl crystal, cubic crystal, and then the diffracted X-ray beam spots are observed along this region here in the form of a circular cone, and we have the spot of the incident beam at the center, and this is actually the photographic plate. Actually, the description of this X-ray diffraction is: the monochromatic X-ray of certain wavelength lambda is incident on the sample, which is crushed to a finely powdered single crystal and is exposed to X-rays on all crystal planes. The cones of the diffracted X-rays of different orders, say n is equal to 1, are recorded on the film. Every order of orientation of the crystalline plane gives rise to a cone of vertical angle 4 theta, where theta is called as the Bragg's angle, where lambda and the lattice spacing d are related to degree by Bragg's equation. We can observe the Bragg's equation. 2d sin theta is equal to n lambda is the Bragg's equation. Then the incident X wavelength lambda and the lattice spacing d are related to theta in degree by Bragg's equation. d is equal to n lambda. From this equation 1 we can get d is n lambda by 2 sine theta. Then we have r, the radius of the arc or the radius of the camera r. S is the distance of the or the circular arcs here, and theta is the angle through which the detector is rotated. Now theta is equal to s by 2 and d square HKL. HKL are called the Miller indices, which is a family of lattice planes here, which are determined by the three terms say HKL. They are called as Miller indices. D square HKL. D is the spacing between the two planes. Here d square HKL is equal to a divided by h square plus k square plus l square, where a is called as the lattice constant, which is the unit cell dimension of the known as the dimension of the unit cell. And in crystallography, a family of lattice planes is determined by the, as I told you, HKL as the Miller indices, and a is equal to square root of n into d square, where n, capital N, is h square plus k square plus l square. These are the equations used here. Then this is another picture having a schematic of a Debye-Scherrer camera. This is an X-ray tube here, and the monochromatic X-ray of wavelength lambda 1.54 is incident. It is made, it's well collimated here. There is a slit, and here we can observe the diffracted X-rays or the scattered X-rays, and this is the X-ray powder photograph which is obtained here, and this is the first circle's radius. The angle is theta is equal to 0 degree to 90 degree. It is varied because we are rotating the camera to 2 theta and we are rotating the sample by theta. This is the picture schematic of a Debye-Scherrer camera. And this is another figure. Here we can ray diagram, which gives the ray diagram, and we have a anode where from here the X-rays are allowed to fall on the sample here. Then here we can observe the diffracted or X-rays from the detector is present here, which is in the receiving end, and this is a sample holder, and here we have the filter. From this we can easily make out that this is rotated to 3 theta, the sample is rotated to 3 theta, and the detector could be rotated to 2 theta. Then in this picture also we can observe the sample in capillary, and how we are finding out the angle, say that is the 2 theta. The detector can be rotated in this way. This is another picture having, this is an X-ray diffraction pattern formed when X-rays are focused on a crystalline material, in this case a protein. Each dot here we can observe each dot present. There are dots here. They are the reflections forms from the coherent interference of the scattered X-ray passing through the crystal. And here we have a peak position. From this, as you can see here, there are peaks. These are the peaks having the maximum count rate as well as the intensity is maximum here. We can observe the intensity is proportional to count rate. So the angle which is rotated to from 5 degree to 70 degree for different angles of rotation of the camera or the detector, we get the counts per second. So the peak position occurs when the ray beam has been diffracted by the crystal lattice. This is actually what we are getting or using the photograph of for the KCl crystal. So this is a typical diffraction pattern. Here we have the HKL values. We can observe the HKL values. Here we have the bigger one, the circular path, the photographic, in the photograph this is the first circle, and the radius is measured, or the distance between these two arcs or the first circle is measured. All the radius are measured or the diameters are measured using the meter scale. So here we can have the different arcs present. This is the second one, and the third one like this. So we are finding out the distance between the two, or the diameter of the first circle and the diameter of the second circle using this meter scale. And for each circular arcs we have the Miller indices 0 to 0 for the first one, 0 to 2 for the second, 2 to 2 for the third one, 0 4 0, 0 4 2 and 2 4 2. These are the Miller indices values. Then here there is the procedure how we do it in our particularly in our lab. First of all we will know the value of lambda, then the order of the spectrum n is equal to 1. Then further we are going to place the X-ray powder photograph is fixed on the horizontal in a table, and the pair of circular arcs corresponds to nth order spectral rings are identified. HKL values are already known on the spectrum photograph. The distance between each pair is measured using a scale. Then each set of HKL are found using the equation n is equal to h square plus k square plus l square. Then after finding out n, we are calculating the value of theta, d and a for each n as shown in table 1. In the next slide we'll have a table. Finally, A is found and compared with the standard data for validation of the result. So here we have from the table we have the ring number, we have Miller indices for each ring, and n we will calculate using h square plus k square plus l square, s in mm, and then we will convert theta, we find out theta s by 2 in terms, we'll convert that into degree, and we have d, that is the spacing between the two planes, n lambda by 2 sine theta, a is equal to square root of n d square, and we have the mean a is known as the dimension of the unit cell, and is also known as lattice constant. These are the observations which are observed, name of the sample KCl, and we have the wavelength, and we have the order of the spectrum. And lastly, we have the conclusion part. The value of A from the table 1 is 5.76 as we have got from the calculation, and the standard value is found to be, and the standard value is around 6.22 angstrom units, and we have the value of lattice constant A for the cubic crystal lattice of potassium chloride by analyzing its X-ray powder photograph is found as 5.76 angstrom units from the table 1 is consistent with the standard values. This is all about the X-ray diffraction by powder method. It's also called as powder method, and this is actually the Debye-Scherrer method what we are doing. So this is all about the X-ray diffraction powder photograph. We are finding out to find the value of A. A is the unit cell dimension of the unit cell. It is also known as lattice constant. So we have an idea about all the information about the X-ray diffraction. First of all, the definition, the introduction, the explanation, the procedure, and we will know the graph, that is we are count rate versus the angle theta, rotation theta of the detector. So all this information is obtained from this video. So thank you.